You're listening to United Anime Kingdom.
Hello everybody, my name is Ness Mudkip, and this is the United Anime Kingdom podcast, episode 5. A little bit of a smaller one this week. The AG Corner isn't actually here, which is a good thing in some ways, because he won't be able to insult me like he always does. But, I don't know, maybe I'll miss it a little bit. But I do have with me, of course, BDT87 and the Slight Dragon. So how are you guys doing today?
Pretty well.
Very, very hot.
Yeah, it's an absolute scorcher today over here in the UK, which doesn't happen too often, actually. Another thing about this podcast is if you keep listening throughout, you will have a chance to win a 48-hour Crunchyroll guest pass. So, yeah, that's your incentive to keep listening, and you can watch plenty of good stuff on Crunchyroll. We're not advertising for them or anything. We just anyway, yeah. So keep your ears open for that. But that aside, today's topic is the exposure of anime in the West. So obviously anime is from Japan. Captain Obvious saves the day again there. There's a lot of stuff that goes into localizing anime for the UK, the US, and all these sort of Western territories. So we just thought it'd be nice to talk about that a bit, especially sort of the UK side of things, because we seem to not get the best deal some of the time when that happens. But yeah, so we just thought there's a couple of things we'd like to touch on there, and it'd be a cool topic. So yeah, anime in the West.
How should we start off? Should we talk about like how we all us three got exposed to anime first?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So,
sure.
Tash?
I, as many people, I was exposed to anime through TV, of course, and I think Pokemon was perhaps the first anime that I saw on TV, and back then I think it was on like CITV, early mornings. After that, pretty much what really got me into more was Dragon Ball Z that aired on Toonami on Cartoon Network, and that Dragon Ball Z really, really got popular in the UK. It was unbelievable. It was running for about a good 5 or 6 years, I think, and everyone was talking about it. However, the real problem was that it didn't really take off from there, from when Dragon Ball Z was aired. As soon as it was over, people tuned in for Dragon Ball GT, and then not many people really bothered with Dragon Ball, because by the time that they released that, it kind of lost its footing, and so most people kind of leaned on Pokemon or Digimon. And yeah, I would have loved to see some more series actually air in the UK. Like in America, I think they had Yu Yu Hakusho air there as well.
Yeah, that was
and
one
then
they have. Mm-hmm.
They also had Cowboy Bebop for a short period of time, I think. And so, whereas in the UK, I think there were some other shows that were shown like much later, because there was another channel that came out, if I'm correct, Ben, an anime channel.
Yeah.
That came out much later than Toonami.
Yeah, we got that was, what was it, Anime Central or something? We got Bleach on that. We got Bebop, I think.
How long was that on TV
Alchemist.
for?
That was.
It started. It wasn't long.
No, it was just a year, I believe.
Yeah, it was like 2008 to 2009.
So just a
something.
short burst, I see.
Yeah.
But we also did get, I think we got Naruto on Jetix.
Jetix, yeah.
They didn't really finish Naruto in the UK. I remember seeing it quite late at night, around I think it was 11 o'clock. And I only saw it during the day, when it was first released. So, I feel like no one's really taking a risk with these shows now, today in the UK. And so they're just playing it safe with all these dramas that they have on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm pretty sure most people would agree that Dragon Ball Z did set them off. However, I think where we really did drop the ball was finding other shows to keep the hype going on. So what about for you, Caleb? How did you get exposed?
Yeah, well, for me it was Pokemon the first thing. I used to watch that when I was a wee lad of about 3 or so. So yeah, but at that point I didn't know came from Japan. I was just on the bandwagon as everyone was, in the early 2000s at that point. So yeah, and then really the main one I got into and I knew it was anime was Yu-Gi-Oh! Next. I believe I explained all this before, but just recapping. Yeah, so it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Next. I got into the card game. I'm pretty sure I knew it was from Japan. And I'm pretty sure I knew it was anime. Yeah, so I think I knew that as well. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the really big one for me. I was into that for a good few years, and I sort of fell out with it. And then I went into Pokemon a bit as well, but that was really just for the games. I wasn't into the anime. But then, I got back into... and then it was kind of weird for me because I just decided to watch Dragon Ball Z Online, like I always say, when this sort of topic comes up. And then it snowballed from there, and now I'm here. So, so anime for me, really... I mean, you could say it started with Pokemon. I'd say it really started with Yu-Gi-Oh! For me. So, yeah, or at least anime on TV, that is. And I was pretty oblivious to most of the other stuff on, because I know for a fact that I'm pretty sure I had stuff like Cartoon Network while Dragon Ball Z was airing, but I never actually touched it, and I never touched Naruto when it was on Jetix, or anything like that. So it really didn't stray far from Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! For me. I do remember seeing a few episodes of Astro Boy, which we got on CBBC for a bit. So, that was okay. I enjoyed it when it was on, but it wasn't too often. So yeah, there isn't a lot to it for me, but yeah, like Tash said, it would be really nice if we could get more shows, on TV.
We do have Dragon Ball Kai that's showing on, was it Kicks? Yeah.
On Kicks,
but it's
yeah.
quite late as well. Like it's around.
Yes, it's a bit late for that, and it's a bit of a shame because
so.
I don't know, but it's like it's a shame though because Kicks isn't a channel that lots of people have, or lots of people tune into. I mean, from what I know anyway, I don't hang out with kids these days, but but I mean, I'm sure when I was in its target age demographic, it didn't exist actually. So I don't know how many kids watch nowadays, but it's on that sort of weird, dodgy end of the Sky Planner, where you only dare to set foot when you're really bored.
Yeah.
So so I mean, when I used to watch all the kids shows on that, I didn't stray far from Cartoon Network, Boomerang, Nicktoons, that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know, how much exposure Kai actually gets considering it's on Kicks, but I don't think it's as much as it would get if it was on, say, Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or something like that. But yeah, so Ben, do you want to give your 2 cents?
Yeah, well, like we said before, so a quick recap from me again. Again, as you both mentioned, it all started from Pokemon, but I actually did see some anime before I saw Pokemon on TV, but like you said, I didn't know it was from Japan or it was Japanese animation. But I wouldn't like to say that made me want to watch more anime. It was later on down the line, around 2007, 8, I started getting or seeing these people like in this thing called anime, so to speak, and that's where I got exposed then to a lot of other stuff rather than just the mainstream. Or well, the mainstream did kick off by then, obviously, but it was just slowly and surfing the net just to finding out each and everything. But I like to thank Studio Ghibli because that really did push me in one direction then. Because at the start, and I must have said this before in the podcast, that films made it for me to get into TV series. But if you just say TV series, the first couple of ones which I mentioned before actually was GTO, FMA, what else? Cardcaptor Sakura, Evangelion, stuff like that, before I got into the big three and other great shows. But yeah, I agree. For our generation, I think mostly it was Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon. I can't really remember anything else shown on TV, but like Tashrin said, when Anime Central came on, that's where I first watched Bleach. I already started watching Fullmetal Alchemist beforehand, and that's where I watched Cowboy Bebop. And that was quite funny. As soon as that channel started, there was like a time slot for anime on 2 other channels, which I don't remember the network they were on, but they showed Elfen Lied, Eskin Flaun, which I watched.
Oh wow! Surprised I got Elfen Lied on TV.
Yeah, that's where I watched Elfen Lied for the first time.
That's cool.
So that's the last time I actually saw it. I know I bought the DVDs, but I haven't rewatched them yet.
Actually, come to think of it, Sci-Fi, they used to show Evangelion, didn't they?
Yes, but I didn't watch it there. I knew of it before. If you people who live in the UK, around that section of Sky programming, there's a lot of, I don't like to say weird channels, but around that section of the area, that's where it was only an hour or 2 hours a night that they showed an anime slot, and that's where Elfen Lied was. I'm not too sure if it was Sci-Fi. It might have been something called Creative. I can't, this is a long time ago now, but it was quite funny just to see, as soon as Anime Central came, fair play, TV did actually show a lot of anime at obviously past Watershed, but sadly Anime Central didn't last too long, and they had to cycle repeating everything, and they didn't have any new shows. I actually watched Ghost in the Shell, was it GITS as we call it, shortened GITS, on Anime Central as well. So yeah, that's where it all started off for me, and obviously Studio Ghibli films, and any other anime film which I did come across.
Mm-hmm. So, if you guys were if say another channel like Anime Central, or even just Anime Central itself, were to come back, do you reckon it'd do any better now? Now that maybe Maggie K picked up a little bit, and a couple more people are into anime, and attendance for MCM is going up and up.
I disagree on that. If we have an anime channel now on TV, given the competition that's out there at the moment, and I'm sure we would be there to support it. But then again, I myself hardly watch TV, and I'm pretty sure many anime fans that were at the MCM Expo don't really watch TV as much as they would do online. Thing is, you got so much to compete with compared to online and DVDs. With DVDs, you get to skip adverts, and online, it's right there at your fingertips, so you can easily watch it. And then, of course, you got illegal torrenting sites and other websites that stream anime for free. And most of the fans, I would have to say, I think there's a fair amount of people that would want to see their anime subbed than dubbed, because you got those people as well. And so it would be hard to get
and on TV they would show dubbed.
There will be just a small, really, really small niche people that would watch it on TV just to support it. And if you look at Dragon Ball Kai as well, that's, a very mainstream anime series here in the UK, and at the moment, it's just barely hanging on there on Kicks. And then there's also the question of what shows to put on for people, and it has to be, English dub as well. So I'm not sure if it would reach the same success unless you bring it over to perhaps an already populated channel like Disney XD or Cartoon Network. I think it would be best if they had their own block
I prefer
in,
Nicktoons,
one of those,
really.
Popular channels, and then it drifts off to its own channel once it's its established fan base, like with Toonami in Cartoon Network. That was just
that's a point there.
Then it moved over to its own channel called CNX, and then Toonami.
Yeah, I did want to bring that up actually.
But, I was just going to say.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say I agree with what Tash says. Even though I said I think a TV channel dedicated to anime could work this time rather than a few years ago, it'll certainly bring a new audience, and obviously it does matter what content, and if they show a lot of new series rather than repeating itself. Basically, all the mistakes that Anime Central did, if they don't do that, I think it could work. If you got to remember that channel didn't start until I believe gone 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, and I don't know my business on how much that channel costs to run, but obviously it's going to cost a fair amount, and that's why it didn't do too well and only lasted for a year. But you got to agree that I think if it does attract newcomers, and I wouldn't say it will stop piracy, because that's where Crunchyroll and other streaming sites come in as well, but it'll certainly put people to show, hey, look, this is somewhere else you can watch anime in your comfort in your living room rather than your laptop or and so forth. But like Tash said, it depends on the content, with if it's going to be dub or sub, and how old the anime is, and obviously, but it's better than exposing people to, oh, look, if you can't see this anime, the only way is to do it is illegal streaming, which is obviously wrong and which we shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking with the TV channels, like, if like the concept of it, if you say, oh, look, anime getting its own TV channel, you'd say, yeah, that's really awesome. I'd love to see that. But then when it actually happens, are you actually going to sit down there and watch it? That's the thing. That's the thing you really got to think about. I mean, they're going to have to start off with small shows that maybe you wouldn't care about that much, and then even if they do shows that you're interested in, or shows that you've seen already, do you really want to go downstairs and watch TV?
Yeah.
When you could just sit in your room and watch it or something.
That's why I think, like you said at the end, Tash, was if it had a certain block time, like it's schedule, that would work better. But I don't think an hour or 2 hours would cut it. I think they need more hours. Even if it was, I know in North America they do this past midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. That's fair enough if you don't have school or anything,
Yeah.
If you do have school or work, you're not going to stay up until that time to watch one
Yeah,
piece.
and the problem is with that as well is that the TV laws are different in America. And in America, post 10 p.m, I think it is, you can show any content for any ages on any channel. But in the UK, children's channels have to show children's content 24/7. So you wouldn't be able to, show uncut stuff then, like they can get away with on Toonami, which runs at midnight now in America, and they can show uncut stuff. We wouldn't be able to get away with that, so that's another thing to take into account.
If we did get anime on TV, it would have to be on quite late, or maybe earliest is like the evening, I reckon. Because like before that, I mean, it's very difficult to get a slot around like when kids get back from school from like 3 to 6. And so for an anime to take that risk, I don't think people are willing to take that.
Well, that's why Anime Central was quite late. I'm not too sure what time, but it was late in the evening, and it ran all the way till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. But obviously, they showed, if you missed it the first time round, they'll show it again in an hour's time or 2 hours' time. So they showed the same episode 3 times that night, so to speak, And then later on, which I think they showed the dub first, and then after midnight they showed it again, but this time with sub, which was one good idea. But on TV, I think it would have to work only dub, because I can't see it work as a sub only.
Yeah, it'd be too niche, especially if you're going to be putting it on kids' sort channels.
Yes.
So yeah, okay. I think it's about time we give away the first, or you guys have a chance to win the first Crunchyroll guest pass that we're going to be giving away. Now, if you want to win that, you have to be the first person to go down to the comments and say the first anime you ever saw on TV. Now, the first person to do that will win it. We'll PM it to you. Is that how we're going to do it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we're going to PM that to you. Be creative. Say why you enjoyed it. Like, I don't know, pretty much. Just say, give us some reasons why you enjoyed it, and what it did for you, if it got you into anime, that sort of stuff. And if you don't win that, keep listening, because there could be other chances throughout this entire podcast. You never know. So you want to keep listening for that?
Yes, that's a yes. Then. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead, do that. I don't know, maybe you'll win. Get yourself some free animes on Crunchyroll, which would be very nice. There you go.
Sweet.
Okay, and moving onwards then, back to the actual topic. So I suppose the next thing we could talk about now that we've done anime on TV would be, say, DVD and Blu-ray releases. Now, we all know that the major distributor of anime in the UK is our good friends over at Manga UK.
Woo!
Woo, yeah. So, and they, for the most part, they do a pretty good job. Would you agree with me on that one?
Yeah,
Guys?
and we actually have a guest here, which is Tash, for instance, which is Jerome's local stalker, by the way.
Yes, yeah. If you want to see more of our adventures with the staff of Mag UK, you can go and check out our MCM Expo videos. That I believe there's one on my channel, there's one on Ben's channel, so you can see Tashvin interacting with Jerome from Mag UK there. So I wouldn't say we know the guys there, but we have a good relationship.
We get along well with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to say we have a healthy relationship with them, but I don't think Tash does after that stalking. So, but yeah,
he definitely loves me. I mean, if you listen to their podcasts, I mean, loads of people would always hear my name, like,
it's true.
all their
Yeah,
podcasts and tweets. And that's even how I first interacted with Caleb, through Maggie UK.
Oh, that was
without even
beautiful.
knowing before we met each other.
Maggie UK tweeted that Tash was actually the reason the One Piece wasn't coming to the UK, and I believe I called you a douchebag or something. I don't quite remember, but
yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I got a reply from someone I didn't know on Twitter, and I was like, "Go screw yourself."
Oh, that's beautiful. And now look at us, best buds. So there you go. But yeah, anyway, instead of getting all nostalgic about the good old days of Maggie UK, so at the end of the day, they're a very good company for customer relationships, I'd say. As seen by us lot. With actually releasing anime, they're pretty good, but they do have a couple of hiccups occasionally, with, some DVDs. For example, the Panty and Stocking DVDs that were released fairly recently, I think, had some problems with them. They had to be recalled or something. It's few things like that, but, we really appreciate what they're doing because,
I think they're really just trying their best to really get a big library out there.
Yeah, with
the series
at the end of the day, that's a good thing because, even they'll be happy to, sometimes talk about, series with stuff, the licenses they don't even own. Because, at the end of the day, I really feel like the thing behind Mag UK is they just want to get anime out there. They do want to make money, obviously, but, that's one of the good things. They are just trying to get anime into the mainstream first before they can really think about going all corporate and, just trying to get all the money, which is a good thing about it, And, yeah, so...
It's got anime, is it Anime Limited, I think?
Anime Limited, yeah, they're a new and upcoming one. They've actually got a whole bunch of really great shows. They've got a really good starting lineup. They've got Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Gurren Lagann. What else did they get? They got some other stuff. I can't remember now.
But there was also Bees Entertainment.
Yes.
That's where I got my Gurren Lagann parts from.
Yeah.
But I heard their company...
Yeah, they went bust.
Slopes,
yeah. So, there you can see just how, smaller market anime is in the UK. Companies like Bees are, going under. I think the main reason the Mag UK is managing to stay afloat so well is because, I think there is Manga US as well, which, although has a much smaller presence in the US, it does... have it backs them up quite nicely. Well, from what I know anyway, I can't say that for sure. But
and they do sell their anime, for a pretty good deal, I must say.
Yeah.
Manga UK compared to their competitors, because I remember Bees, they overcharged me a heck of a lot for Gurren Lagann, like £30 per part.
Yeah.
And so Manga UK really do try to give you the best value for money for what you're paying for. Mm-hmm. So I do, applaud them for that.
Yeah.
And they do ask, on Twitter, they are very active, and on Facebook as well, they do ask what we want. They ask us questions, like, what anime series do you want to see? Do you want to see this on DVD or Blu-ray?
Yeah.
And with their partnerships with Kaze for some of their releases, we're pretty lucky to get some of the Blu-rays as well.
Yeah.
And if it went for Kaze as well, you wouldn't really have any Blu-rays to begin with, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
I haven't really seen a single release, really, from Mag UK for Blu-ray.
Yeah. That's the beauty of anime being sort of a niche market, is because we've got it's good to know that the people who are the forefront of releasing anime in the UK are, from what we've seen, pretty passionate about it as well. Just as passionate as the fans. So it's lucky we've got someone that good there. But the problem is we still need anime to break into the mainstream. And like, for example, if you go down to HMV, normally in most HMV shops in the country, you'll find the World Cinema section, and spliced in there will be the anime releases.
Same with martial arts section as well.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
and some of them aren't even like to do with martial arts.
Yeah, and it's a shame sometimes because I'll go down to my local HMV and there'll be actually this is more of a thing with manga. Actually, I'll go down and into Waterstones or something, and there's been one volume of Dragon Ball Z in my local Waterstones, and it's been there for like a year, and no one has bought it. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, and I mean that sort of happens to the anime as well. If you go down to HMV, walk into the anime section, you can like walk past the same, unless they've like one guy's bought it and they've restocked it with one DVD set. Like, you know, you walk down there and you just walk past the same set every time. No one's picking it up, you know. So, you know, it'd be really nice if like the whole anime shelf, if you will, on the you know, aisles of like high street stores, you know, like HMV and stuff, would get bigger. And, you know, maybe have its own little thing that says anime. Maybe people will go over and go, hey, what's that? And, you know, get more people interested.
That would be great as well, but then again, like, if you look at Amazon,
yeah,
they offer much cheaper prices than what HMV offers.
It's one of the reasons
so it's hard to compete with that as well.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why high street stores are all going bust now, is because places like Amazon always have better deals, and you don't have to leave your share to go and get anything.
The only thing I like HMV is doing, but I wouldn't say it's the correct way, but at least you can see it on the shelf, is every time a new anime DVD comes out, especially Naruto and Bleach, and Studio Ghibli ones, they put it in the chart section, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be there because I don't know how well it sells, but is it there for the hell of it? Or, you know, it's not in the new releases section, it's actually in the chart, you know. So I don't know if they're actually trying to sell it by doing that, or it's actually done quite well to be up there. But I'm talking about day one. It's in the chart number 20 something. You know, it's kind of silly because they haven't been sold yet, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
But I do like that, how they do actually is, oh look, you go to the section and it's not there. And there it is, it's in the chart section. So a lot of people can, if they were looking at any other films, they can actually see, what's this, you know. Especially the one I go to, the anime section, there is no Blu-rays at all. If you have to find the Blu-rays, you have to go to the Blu-ray section out of A to Z, you know.
Yeah.
I think they should actually sort that out in some aspect. But it varies to HMV to HMV, obviously. Yeah, it's alright, but like you said, Amazon is the quicker way and the cheaper way to get your entertainment now.
I think, I don't know, from what I hear, I think more people like buy Studio Ghibli films from like in store and Amazon. I think that's like perhaps like the most sold anime on there. So quite a lot of people get the Studio Ghiblis there, and if they could perhaps, I don't know, like squeeze in some other animes like alongside it. I'm not sure what section the Studio Ghibli films are in HMV, but I know they're definitely not in the same section as anime.
Yeah. Well, Ghibli generally does pretty well because it'll get broadcast. Like Film 4, I believe last year they did a whole week or something, was it, for Ghibli stuff? So
they're very passionate with world cinema anyway, and that's a good way to promote it because they did, like you said, they did like a whole week or 2 weeks full of Studio Ghibli film each day. That's that's going back to the TV topic, but yeah, they're doing well to promote the films.
Do you suppose they could tie perhaps some other series, like in some way, with Ghibli films? Like,
I guess we could. They have done non-Ghibli films. I think they showed Paprika, and that's where I saw that.
Yeah, one time they showed Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh dear, that's the wrong series to advertise with that.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, maybe Amazon could do something like, if you liked this, mate, you might enjoy. I mean, I'm pretty sure they already do that.
Yeah,
but they do like other people who
like
bought this,
like people that bought this item with that and this.
Yeah.
But speaking of anime getting exposure, how would you say like websites like Crunchyroll, Anime on Demand are doing very well?
I'd say so, but I don't think they're doing much to get anime into the mainstream. They're just more sort of people who have gotten into it and they've realised, oh look, I can watch this great season of stuff that is coming out like a few hours afterwards if I go to Crunchyroll. And speaking of Crunchyroll, Sorry. It's about time we give away our second gift code thingy. So, if you didn't, if you want another chance to win, or you don't think you're going to win that first one, or you've looked at the comments, someone who's already won it, or I don't know. Point is, you can go over to Twitter, and if you tweet this YouTube link where you're watching it right now, along with to our Twitter, so at United_anime, the first person to tweet that to us, and I don't know, do something funny with it. You have to make us laugh. You don't have to make us laugh. Generally, just the first person who does it will win. Will PM you the thing. So there you go. There's another chance to win a 48-hour Crunchyroll gift pass if you do that. I guess. Yes, expose our podcast. Send it to everyone. Send it to your friends using Twitter. Retweet our stuff.
Share on Facebook.
All that good stuff. And then more Crunchyroll gift passes will be coming your way. Maybe. I don't know. But there you go.
But yeah, there's
your other chance.
As for Crunchyroll anyway, I think they're doing a particularly good job in making it available on TVs and PS3s and Xboxes and Vitas as well. And so they are doing what they can to spread the awareness of it. However, as you can tell, the limitations is the TV, of course. And given how niche anime is, people spreading it's just a bit trickier now than how it used to be. And getting some shows, I think Anime on Demand, they're really struggling with some series.
Yeah, Anime on Demand.
They get one or two shows a season, and I think before people used to pay for it £35.
I've got to say I'm not a fan of Anime on Demand. I've looked at some of the stuff, I watched Steins Gate on there, and I had a trial so I could watch the first episode, and they let me watch it in 720p HD, and it just looked bad. It just looked like I was watching it on some illegal streaming site, So
it is it's a UK run site, isn't it? So
it's all by Kaze in the end, so
And things most people turn to Crunchyroll for streaming their anime online now, because Crunchyroll's built up a fan base. It's hard to compete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is hard to compete, but I wish there was another streaming as big as Crunchyroll, because if Crunchyroll doesn't have the series you want to watch, when you're pretty screwed, there's Neon.
I feel that's rarely the case though with Crunchyroll.
Yeah, Neon Alley. We don't have that yet, but
Yeah, so at least in North America you have two sites to go to. Speaking of which, we have Daisuki.net, which literally just launched a couple of weeks ago.
And which, luckily for you, America folks, you now get to watch Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Box quality in Japanese, and One Piece on that, but only for America, sadly. And Canada, I think. But yeah.
They also got Funimation as well. Funimation are streaming seasonal anime, and I think Viz Media also do it.
Yeah, they probably do. I think most of the distributors have some sort of streaming service in America, but only in America.
Do you reckon that could perhaps push things towards getting it on TV one day, or?
I don't know, really. Because, again, most of these streaming services have people already into anime, and they just want a nice way to, see new seasonal stuff that's coming out. So, I'm not sure how well it's going to help, unless Crunchyroll could somehow, advertise on TV or something, which should cost bajillions. But,
if Netflix really does pick off, has it really picked up Netflix here in the UK?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because in that case, we need a big anime library. From what I've seen,
Netflix have a few, but they did have Gurren Lagann actually until the license, went to crap or something. So, they did have that. I watched 2 episodes of the Devil May Cry anime on there just out of curiosity. But yeah, they haven't got a lot. They do have Ghost in the Shell actually. I'm not sure what one, because I'm not too familiar with it, but they do have some sort of Ghost in the Shell on there. So Netflix have a few good stuff. So maybe if I definitely think actually if Netflix could improve their anime library and push it a little bit, I think that could help, because I know a lot of people that have Netflix now. I know I have it, and it's brilliant. So
Sweet.
yeah,
I tried it, but it wasn't for me. Just because the lack of content on it, especially like Tash said, there wasn't much anime on it. But I was there for the documentary stuff. But I think it's better in North America there. But I don't know why. But I think Netflix should pick up their content over here in the UK on how much you're charging us. It's a good deal, but I think we should get more content in not only in anime but in any other genre as well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if we haven't really got anything else to say, I think it's about time to wrap it up here.
Sweet.
Yep. So yeah, leave us your thoughts in the comments, guys. What do you think about anime in the West? I mean, we've only talked about the UK here. After all, we are the United Anime Kingdom podcast. But you know, I mean, America, you know, as big as even though it is bigger than what we've got over here, they could do with probably some more exposure as well. So give us your thoughts on that. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Maybe win a Crunchyroll gift pass if you've been listening to all that stuff. You know, that could be cool. I don't know.
And more to come.
Yeah, more to come. More Crunchyroll gift passes to come. Do we? How many do we have in stock?
Yeah. Just keep listening. We'll have some giveaways to come in the next couple.
Yeah,
of weeks.
maybe one day we'll get really big and we'll actually send stuff to people. I doubt it, but maybe one day a man can dream. But yeah, anyway, so like I said, guys, thanks for watching. Follow us on Twitter. You'll be able to see all that good stuff on the screen. Check out our single channels. Biggest thing is send us questions. We very rarely get questions, which is kind of annoying since we push them at the end of every podcast every week. Honestly, we don't mind how you get into us. PM us, leave them in comments, send them on Twitter.
Yeah, and it can literally be anything as well.
Like, literally write us a letter, attach it to a pigeon, send it to us. But yeah, what we're saying is send us questions, because, we really want to have a nice little mailbag section at the end of every podcast, want to, just, get in contact with you guys a little bit more. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So send in questions, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our normal channels, and that's about it. So, from me, Nesmokip, and you guys.
Me,
the Sly Dragon, we all bid farewell.
Yes, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Hopefully with some more people. Bye.
Ta-ta.